as the sun was setting in San Diego, one final time on a WWE PLE for John Cena tonight. John Cena would defend the Intercontinental title against Dirty Dominik Mysterio. Now, during this match, we'd see John Cena hit a powerbomb / Dom trying for a Hurricanrana. It looked like Dominik Mysterio received a serious injury here. And obviously, recently, we actually saw a very similar situation to this with Penta, so of course we bought it. We'd come back from the replay though, watching Raquel and Roxanne hit their finishing moves on John Cena. It was all a dirty trick by Dirty Dom, who would have won the match, but the referee refused to count, which I think was absolutely abhorrent. How do you refuse to count a pinfall in the middle of a match? We'd then see Finn and JD get involved, other members of the Judgment Day, who would suffer a double AA by John Cena. And then Liv Morgan would return to WWE. Totally not what we was expecting, as she would strike Dirty Dominik Mysterio and then hug John Cena, but recreate that moment, that look of John Cena when he turned heel to then low blow John Cena. She kicked him in the little johnnies. Dominik Mysterio would then defeat John Cena. And you know what that means. Liv Morgan was the reason for John Cena's final ever PLE defeat. I swear on my life I didn't book this, but I will shake the hand of anyone that did. Absolute perfection. Dominik Mysterio, the brand new Intercontinental Champion, which does mean John Cena's final match will not be for the Intercontinental title. And despite Michael Cole saying it's 1 week from tonight, it is in fact 2 weeks from tonight that we'll see that Saturday night's main event that will feature John Cena's final ever match. A fan photo did emerge on social media, by the way, of John Cena receiving that hug from Liv. And I mean, he looks quite happy about it. He's still a winner after all that, really, isn't he? And you may be wondering, what did Liv Morgan have to say after this big, shocking return? Nothing. In fact, all she posted was a picture of her in John Cena's gear from an old photo shoot. Oh, that is absolutely savage. But this is things you might have missed from Survivor Series War Games. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. The Women's War Games match is what kicked us off tonight. The first match of the show. And yes, immediately we noticed it. And they did address it on commentary. No shark cages tonight. The teammates were not in the arena for the start of the War Games match. I'm all for WWE trialing new things and seeing how things work, but I feel like this is a concept that actually really did work. You know, typically after Survivor Series, WWE would release like the footage from inside the shark cages and stuff. We'd cut to it during the match. Maybe it's a little bit less distracting, maybe. Commentary making the point, though, that the superstars cannot enter the War Games. They cannot come out to the arena until their name is called. We would get full entrances of wrestlers as their name was called, as their entrance came out. And honestly, I think this was a bit stupid. Their teammates are being beaten up and they're standing there doing their whole ass entrance, posing and everything. I don't like it, man. Bring back the shark cages. Well, the Women's War Games would be concluded with Team Rhea, the babyfaces, picking up the win tonight, with AJ Lee making Becky Lynch tap out. 100% Becky Lynch is not going to let this one drop. She's going to make accusations about Jessica Carr. She's going to drag this out, and I'm guaranteeing we're going to get a one-on-one match between Becky and AJ at some point. The match had some cool moments though. Really cool to see Becky and Charlotte sort of reigniting their rivalry once again in the ring. I always think these two are destined to face each other. And of course, the presentation of Lash Legend. Lash Legend, commentary making the big deal out of it. This was her first main roster match since signing to the Friday Night SmackDown roster. And there's been some big debuts at Survivor Series, so if they're putting Lash Legend's name in that hat too, the future is very bright. They presented her very well in this match. And of course, the traditional Io Sky jumping off the cage with a trash can spot that everyone loves. And of course, you've got to pop for this. This is so cool. She did a swanton bomb this year off the cage onto 4 standing opponents. Becky luckily missed out. If I'm being nitpicky though, the one criticism of this, is that she stood on that cage for far too long. The opponents were just stood around doing nothing for maybe 20 seconds. Nah, it didn't look great. Some very cool, unique attires in this match, though. Loved Alexa's. You just know that Mattel are definitely looking at this, salivating at the idea of some new wrestling figures. Rhea Ripley's gear, inspired by Art the Clown. Absolutely love that mask. It looks awesome. But the gear of the match has to go to Charlotte Flair. The story behind it as well, told to us by Michael Cole. Absolutely amazing. Charlotte's gear inspired by a 7-year-old cancer patient who is one of Charlotte's close friends and was in attendance tonight. Really cool for Charlotte to wear that gear tonight. It's been all over social media, so you may have seen the teases by WWE for potential returns at Survivor Series. In fact, though, it wasn't teasers at all. It was actually WWE trolling. Dirt Sheets reporting that WWE was more than aware of live streaming, photos and videos being taken by fans from their apartments of the stadium being set up for Survivor Series. Decided to sort of see what would leak. I'll be honest, I really like the fact they did that. I think it's quite funny. Stephanie Vaquer would retain the Women's World Championship tonight, defeating Nikki Bella. I'll be completely honest, I forgot this was even a match on this show, and that's so bad. But the booking for this build has been awful. However, they did deliver a pretty decent match. We saw a devil's kiss on the commentary desk, which I know you liked. Yes, I'm looking at you. I don't think their positioning on the card helped, obviously being squashed between John Cena's final PLE match and the Men's War Games, but the match itself was still decent. The Men's War Games match was tonight's main event, started with CM Punk and Bron Breakker. Braun's entrance, man, that looks so cool. WWE, they better not wait years to pull the trigger on Bron Breakker. He should be a main event superstar fighting for a world title now. As Cody Rhodes got into the ring, we immediately saw some problems brewing between him and CM Punk with a misplaced shot by Cody Rhodes. Interestingly enough as well, WWE actually repeated a spot as Cody climbed the cage because Drew was holding the cage door shut. Obviously, we saw that earlier on tonight with Becky Lynch holding the cage shut and AJ Lee climbing the cage. Very interesting because you very rarely see WWE repeating spots. On the C Wrestling Discord server, when Jey Uso emerged, we were waiting for it. We expected it, and they fucking did it. Jey Uso would run it back in the middle of War Games. I absolutely hate that. But it did provide a great transition for Brock's music to hit and the atmosphere to completely change as business picked up. Brock would enter and literally dominate everybody, but one man was left on the babyface team, Roman Reigns. Brock, though, finding the loophole. He could leave the cage because Roman hadn't entered. The match hadn't started, and he ended up F5ing Roman through the commentary desk. Nearly single-handedly, Roman Reigns would pick up the momentum for the babyfaces once again, until a mystery man, all dressed in black, would climb the cage, enter War Games, and end up using the curb stomp to CM Punk. Obviously implying this was Seth Rollins. Obviously, if it was Seth Rollins, why didn't he unmask? Why did we not find out the identity of this person? I'd love it to be Seth, but I mean, injury allowing, I don't know what the injury status is. I mean, could it have been fake? You never know with Seth Rollins. I'm seeing lots of people instantly trying to theorize who this could have been. People saying it might have been Jericho, or someone obviously trying to imply they're Jericho. Maybe someone like Austin Theory. I think the possibilities are limitless. The Hills pick up a huge win in War Games, but obviously the question now, Monday Night Raw, who was the masked attacker? This was the scene at the end of the show. Cody, Punk, and Roman. Punk sort of respected CM Punk, but with Cody, he told him this was the last time we'd ever team. There was some reports that we might find out, or at least start the build to the WrestleMania main event tonight. Is that it? Is it Cody, Roman, or maybe a triple threat? Like I always say, though, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think it's going to be? What did you think of Survivor Series War Games? Personally, I really miss the shark cages. I think for me, a respectable 7 out of 10 is fair tonight. Let me know your thoughts down below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter @CWrestlingUK, and I'll see you next time. Peace!